All right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Thursday, May 27th. Had a great tasting in the store last night, but before we get to that, we're going to go through what I drank in the store yesterday. We did have a few suppliers in the store. The first one, Pat Carmody, our good friend from Southern Wine and Spirits, was in with some very nice wines of Villa Maria Sauvignon Blanc from the Marlborough region of New Zealand. This wine we know very well. We've had this wine in our gift boxes in the past. One of the best values in New Zealand, Sauvignon Blanc. It has that typical passion, papaya, kiwi, tropical fruit to it. Maybe not quite as sweet and fruity as some of these Sauvignon Blancs from New Zealand can be. And it has a little bit of that grassy component that Sauvignon Blanc is so well known for. A very complex wine at this price. $13 and change is our list price on this. Really nice. And then some great wines from one of my favorite producers in Oakville, Niente Winery. I visited Niente for the first time last summer. What a beautiful winery. What Gil Nichols did to this old farmhouse. Absolutely spectacular. And, you know, the wine has gotten a little expensive, but it is popular. That's what happens to popular things that become expensive. The 1997 vintage was for sale for $500 a bottle at the winery. Could not believe that. But the new release, we got a much better price on that, and we've got a smoking price on the Chardonnay. Niente Chardonnay, a little different. They were one of the first people to use this non-mallow style, really Burgundian in nature. You have this lovely, fresh, green apple fruit in this wine, lemon drop candy with wonderful vanilla bean creme brulee and cinnamon spice notes from the new French oak. And then on the tongue, this wine is very bright and high-toned. And this wine, to me, is always better with a year or two in the bottle. They do a library release with these Chardonnays, and they'll last 10 years or more, the older vintage Niente Chardonnays. Check that out. We've got a great price on this. It's on sale for $33.50. You'll see this for as much as $50 in some other retail stores. Okay, the Cabernet 2007. I think you guys have heard me mention this. An outstanding vintage in Napa Valley for Cabernet. Very classic vintage, a long growing season. This wine, very ripe and seductive. One of the things that I love about Oakville is its forward and immediate appeal, and a lovely black cherry, cassis berry fruit in this on the nose. Little sweet tobacco, cigar box spice, milk chocolate notes. Very complex. On the palate, big and chewy, but again, Oakville tends to have these ripe and round tannins, and really very fairly drinkable for such a young wine, but this wine is still a baby. And we have a very good price on this, on sale for $94 a bottle. And then we had our tasting last night with Huneeus Vintners. We showed 12 wines from this portfolio, and outstanding, every single one of them. The Veramonte Pinot has been our leader in this category in terms of sales. I don't think I've ever had a Pinot in the store at $12.50. We definitely haven't had one that is this good. The Ritual, a little step up, but kind of funny. Some people like the Veramonte better than the Ritual and vice versa. A little different style wine stylistically, both being made by Paul Hobbs. I missed the whites there. Sorry, the Sauvignon Blanc from Veramonte for $10, smoking, and very good with these Asian chicken lettuce wraps, even when you put the sriracha chili sauce on them. Most people don't like heavy spice with their wine, but you need something cold and with great acidity to cut through that spice, like this Veramonte Sauvignon Blanc. The Illumination Sauvignon Blanc, also outstanding, totally different style, more of that melon and fig, more like a white Bordeaux. And then the Chardonnay Adrian Gale from Flowers, outstanding. Sonoma Coast Chardonnay, I really love, very Burgundian. It's a very extreme and cold growing region. The Sonoma Coast, however, is a huge appellation, stretches all the way into the Russian River, areas that are not even close to the coast really, but Flowers Winery is out on the true Sonoma Coast. The Huneeus group bought into this winery last year, and they now have a controlling interest in it. The Cabernet, again, for $10, outstanding. We had their first venture, Augustin's first venture into Argentina, the Cruz Andina Malbec. Excellent Malbec, another great value. And then the Primus wine, the Carmenere varietal, which is Chile's great red hope. This is a Carmenere Merlot Cabernet Syrah blend, the 06. Really drinking nicely. That Syrah tends to help round out the wine and make it show really nice at an early age. And then the big boys, the Faust and Quintessa. You know, it amazes me that the Wine Spectator rated this Faust 80 points. This was probably the crowd favorite of the night. Quintessa, for some reason, a lot of people don't get this wine. Spectator rated 86 points. They rated the $10 Veramonte Cabernet 85 points. And if you taste these two wines side by side, Quintessa is in a league of its own compared to wines like these $10 Veramonte wines. Very misleading. I think this wine is somewhat understated and somewhat misunderstood by some members of the press that like big, oaky, sweet California wines. This wine has got finesse and elegance and is going to have a very long life ahead of it. It's got a great acidic backbone to it. The 06 Quintessa, most excellent. And you know, we do have a couple Zinfandels. If you want to read about that, read about them. I'm not a big Zinfandel fan. The Saldo and the Prisoner, which has been on fire. We do have them in this offer, available at great prices if you like stuff like that. Zinfandel, you know, we're still thirsty usually after even 12 bottles of wine, and we had some professional grade people in the store last night. Yes, Pete, I'm talking about you till the very end, and Charles, the consigliere. So we were still thirsty. We had to open up a few things, and one of my favorite wines that I have in the store, the Guado al Tasso 2006 from Antinori. We tried this with John Lampy, our friend from Quintessa, who helped us with the tasting last night, blind, just to see if he could pick out what it was, and we all knew it was a Bordeaux varietals, but not many people, no one picked out that it was Italian, from the Italian coast. This wine is killer, and we have a great price on this. I don't know how much longer we'll be able to hold it for. The best price in the state of Florida, $79 a bottle. If you like Italian wines, you like wines from Bulgaria, you want to own some 06 Guado al Tasso. And then the man, Robert Mondavi. Yes, that's right. We got his quote on the email today. The 2005 Reserve Cabernet we opened up next. And again, we showed this wine. John didn't know what it was. And it's funny because he picked it out as a Robert Mondavi Reserve Cab. Kind of interesting, but if you know Quintessa, you know their winemaker Charles Thomas used to work at Robert Mondavi. So a very similar style wine. Mondavi's very elegant and understated. This wine was just rocking, and you open it up, and the bouquet coming out of the decanter is just amazing for this wine. Currants, cassis, fresh herbs, light smoke, toast cigar box spice, dry tobacco, just incredible nuance coming out. And then on the palate, the wine is big and voluminous, but again, not overly oaked and not sweet. Lovely acidity, lovely balance. This is a wine that you're going to be able to keep for 20 years or more in your cellar. And again, we've got the best price in the country on this wine, or not in the country, I'm sorry, in the state of Florida, $79 a bottle, and it's gone now. The 2006 is in, so whatever we got left is what we've got. And that's what I've got for you today. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasone for the Wine Watch, signing off saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.